Hey, this is Eric, and today I'm feeling still a little bit affected, a little bit hit by the things that I talked about in my confessions video a few days ago, and I want to talk a little more about it because I think it's important. If anything is important in this world, it's this. So in that video, I mentioned how I'm going to go do something that I think is very unusual for myself. Something that's very out of character, very out of character. Definitely not an Eric thing to do. And that's that I'm going to go become Catholic. I mean, kind of a wild thing to do. And the reason I'm doing this is not culture war issues. It's not because I believe in the things that Catholics believe in, or anything of this sort. Um, which is why I have to talk to them. By the way, they might not accept me because of those reasons. We'll see. I'll talk to them. I'm not going to lie to them. Uh, the reason I'm going to go do this is because I need to let go of myself. There needs to be less Eric and more of the divine, more of God or the truth or uh, the truth with a capital T, whatever that may be. That there needs to be more of that, and in order for there to be more of that, there has to be less Eric. And that's why I'm doing this. What I noticed the other day, and what prompted me to make my confessions video, is that I've noticed that I've come to this very familiar place of creating an identity for myself of being the smart guy. And I've been creating this identity for as long as I can remember. It's one of the closest parts to the core of my personality, the core of my ego. I'm the smart one. As a kid, I beat all the other kids at chess. I answered all the questions right. I even annoyed my teachers because I knew more than them at times. I was always the smart kid. And that identity has continued to this day. Well, what happened is I saw through it. I noticed that that's what I was doing. I was arguing with people about morality and whether morality is a subjective thing, and I noticed that I was playing the smart guy role again. Which okay, whatever, it is what it is. But it's also a very stressful way to be. It's not what I want to do anymore. And when I start to look at the truth of things and ask myself, do I really know that morality is objective or not objective? No, no, I don't. I have no clue. No clue whether there is an objective morality out there somewhere, whether people are correct that the belief in objective morality has pragmatically the best outcomes or not. I don't know. I don't know. And I kind of doubt anyone else does either, by the way. you know, that's another issue, but I don't even know that. I don't even know what other people know. And that one's really rough. That one's really rough. A lot of this identity, I think, of being the smart one has been built on noticing just how other people are not always very intellectually honest. Other people, honestly, a lot of times don't really know a lot of things. Like I grew up in a family, and I love them to death. Okay, so if any of them listen to this, don't think I'm knocking you. I don't. I love you all. But I grew up in a family that wasn't always the most well informed. Or a lot of times I would try to explain a subject to them, a scientific subject or economics or something like that, and they just, it's just not their world. They're much more the blue collar, everyday worker type. Which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm not knocking it. So I've kind of built a lot of this identity off of separating myself from other people, seeing that other people don't know as much as I do, uh, or aren't as intellectually honest. I know logical fallacies and know how to avoid them. Other people commit logical fallacies all the time. I would spot all these wrongs in other people in order to set myself up as being the smart one. I've been doing this all my life. Almost all of us have been doing something like this all of our life. Maybe for you, it's not being the smart one. Maybe for you, it's being, I don't know, the wise one. Maybe for you, it's being the hardworking one, or the moral one, or the self-sacrificial one, or my brother. My brother is the charismatic one. He's the he's the funny one, the charismatic one, the handsome one. So almost all of us are doing this. We're building these identities, and oh man, is it stressful? Is it stressful? And I am grateful. I'm grateful that when I do get to arguing about these issues, like whether morality is objective or not, I'm glad it makes me suffer. I just get so tired of it. It's so exhausting. It's exhausting setting myself up against other people to say that to show them how wrong they are about things. It's a drag. And honestly, once I started to see the pattern, I noticed it's a drag being Eric. It's always a drag being Eric. It's hard. When Eric is right about things, it's rough being right about things. It sucks. And actually, it's not the being right about things that makes it suck. It's the being right and insisting on it. It's the setting yourself up against the world. Now, I'm not going to lie. Probably part of the reason that I started this channel was this self image that I built up of being the smart one or having something of value to say. Now, maybe I do have something of value to say, but that's not up to me to determine. That's up to you guys to determine. Let's be honest. But I'm not going to lie. Like probably part of the reason that no part of the reason I did start this channel is that I do feel like I have something important to say, something useful to say. There's a self image building part of that. Same thing when I comment on another YouTube channel. Now I have a whole nother uh, uh, YouTube account that I use for commenting on other people's channels. Um, just to maintain anonymity. But even when I do go to comment on someone else's channel, it's still in this mode of thinking that I have something better to say than someone else. It's this identity being built up. This identity. Now, I said that I'm going to go become Catholic, and one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to build a new identity on it. Like a lot of people, that's what they do with religion. They build an identity based on their religion. I mean, even though I've been pointing a lot here to, these four books right here, this green one all the way to this gray one. This is the Pali Canon. It's the Buddhist Bible, you could say. Even people that are really into that, into Buddhism, even though the Buddha says there's not a self to be found, a lot of people build strong identities around Buddhism. It even happens there. Well, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure I could build an identity around being a Catholic or being a Buddhist for that matter. Even though I have thousands of hours on the meditation cushion, I don't identify as a Buddhist. I don't have an identity built on it. Instead, I think what I've learned in my 40 years, maybe the best piece of wisdom, if I do have any wisdom to pass on, it's this. This is the important one. Is that the less of you that there is, the more of the truth comes in. The more that you can let go of building yourself up, the more you can let go of getting your way. Anything that you regard as being part of yourself, your will, your intellect, your beliefs, your body, the more that you can let go of yourself. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. You're gonna get more of the truth of that religion that is trying to show you. It's going to come in. And I'll be the first to admit I know nothing about, say, Islam. I mean, except for like very surface level knowledge. Like I know it means surrender. I know Muhammad being their prophet. I know some basic stories about Islam, but my knowledge of Islam does not run deep, is what I'm trying to say. But I am 100% confident that even in Islam, even though I don't know much about it, I can say that the more you surrender yourself, the more that the revealed truth of that religion will be revealed to a Muslim. Let go of yourself, let Allah in, would be the way that I might say that to a Muslim. Let the law of Allah in. However they phrase it. I'm sure they have their ways of phrasing it. This is true of any religion. Like, the revelation of that religion will be revealed, the less of yourself. And even if you're an atheist, let's say you don't have a religion at all, even if you're an atheist, you will find your sense of peace dramatically increasing the more you let go of yourself. The more you let go. And that's what happened to me the other day, is I let go of a piece of myself. Not to say that I won't reacquire it. I feel the temptation happening over and over to reacquire it, to reacquire the sense of being the smart one. And I'm hoping I can keep making videos on my channel here, while at the same time balancing that need to let go of that part of me. I think I can. I think I can. And I think the way I do that is just by remaining humble, by realizing that um, my ability to explain things or to understand things is very limited, and to not overestimate my knowledge. I don't know anything. And I think the less you know, the more you can admit how little you know, really the better. That's letting go of yourself. And for an intellectually inclined person like me, that's one of the key ways of letting go of yourself, is to admit how little you know. Even to admit that other people might know more than you, a heck of a lot more than you. And if you disagree with that, well, how do you know what they know? That's real epistemology right there. Useful epistemology. And I think this is the point to make. I've also I went to reading a lot of analytic philosophy, and frankly, like, I'm sorry to poo on it, but analytic philosophy is just such nonsense. There's no use for it. Like this examination of sentences and language and whatnot. It's so beside the point. The emphasis on propositions and whether propositions align with our empirical experience. I mean, I can see the value in it for science. Okay, I get it for empirical science, but as far as like our personal journeys, it it doesn't hold much value. I don't think. This is why I think it's kind of confined to being an academic enterprise. The public votes on that. Religion is actually more valuable to people, actually holds more value in people's lives than philosophy does, for a reason. It's because religion can humble you. It's because in religion you can let go of yourself and you can come to understand something that's beyond yourself. Recent philosophy doesn't do that. And I think, I also think a lot of recent philosophy, even when it does venture into, say, philosophy of religion or philosophy of mind, these areas that might hold a little more value in the sense, it still gets bogged down in arguments over realism versus anti-realism, things of this nature. Whereas I think if people that might not be as intellectually inclined, or people that just have an attachment to one end or the to usually when people have an attachment to like say realism versus anti-realism, it's on the realism side. because that's kind of the default in our culture. That's sort of the default thing we're set up with. And I think the value of philosophy can be presenting those anti-realist arguments, those skeptical arguments, and say, well, how do you know there's actually an external world, or there actually is other minds and whatnot, and it can help you let go of that attachment to realism. But the danger is you can become like me, is that you can then go and get attached to the anti-realist position and get attached to skepticism and trying to get people to let go of your realism. you know, so there's that danger in it. I think the point is that philosophy can be valuable. It's valuable as far as it humbles us, as it lets us let go of the self that we build. But I would say in the end, religion is probably even more valuable in that sense. It really is. Well, yeah. So what I won't be doing is I won't be building a new self around being Catholic. Um, Now I will be taking it seriously. It's not that I'm just kind of going to go in there and be Catholic in name only. No, I'm going to really contemplate the mysteries of God and come to understand God as Catholics understand it. That's my full intent. Maybe I don't believe in what they believe in, but I at least hopefully have the faith, have the faith. Faith really is the word for this. I at least have the faith to not trust my own beliefs, to pursue the truth of the capital T, which they regard as God in the way that they see it, to pursue that with my whole being. I'm going to do it. Maybe I won't succeed. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I'm very honest in my intentions on that, and I'm doing this because it's very against Eric. I need to get out of Eric, because the less Eric there is, the more truth will come in, the more God will come in. And this is, I mean, even the Bible says like even Jesus said this in the Bible. That like I'm going to misquote it, but I'll get the general idea correct. Um, my ways are not your ways. What is considered greatest among men is considered least in heaven, and what is considered greatest in heaven is least among men. What was honored among human beings is money, status, power, uh, getting your way, the ability to inflict your will, or at least the ability to have others' will inflicted upon you. That's not how the things of heaven work. That's not how spirituality works. Spirituality is flipping that around. Storing up treasure in heaven is about letting go of yourself, letting go of your will. And what I have at least is the faith is at least hopefully that is true wisdom, because that's the wisdom I'm going to operate on. Hopefully at least I figured that out. So even though maybe I don't understand or see God the same way that Catholics do, I at least have the faith to not trust my own beliefs, to not trust myself as far as that goes, to let go of my own beliefs regarding Christianity, regarding the Christ, regarding all of that. Let go of it and instead humble myself and let God reveal himself to me on his own time. Nothing I can do to force his hand. So even though I'm currently agnostic, somewhere between, agnostic, maybe slightly leaning toward atheist in a sense, as far as that God, I don't trust it. I don't trust myself. I don't believe in myself anymore. I don't have faith in myself anymore. I can't do it. If I'm going to let go of myself, self can't do that. Something beyond has to do that. Whatever that beyond is, I don't understand it. I don't know about it. But I'm going to let it do its thing. And I think this is what true religion looks like. And uh, I'm choosing to go down Catholicism because I'm taking partially it's because it's very against Eric. Also, partially it's a little convenient. It's all around me. It's something that I have easy access to. Um, I think this is the path. No matter your religion, I think this is the path. I think this is what works. I hope I figured this out. We'll see. So, well, like and subscribe if you'd like. If you think this is valuable. If you think what the goofy anti-world things that I have to say are valuable. And I'll see you around. Thanks for joining me.